Getting in pictures from London right now, where in the Indian community is protesting against the BBC. These were protests from outside the BBC's offices in London after the BBC's documentary, which the MEA termed as propaganda. The first pictures coming in of the protests. This is the protest by the Indian community, and these are the first pictures of the protests. Hundreds of the Indian community members there protesting outside the offices of the BBC against the documentary. The documentary, of course, targeting the Prime Minister of India, Narendra Modi, despite him getting a clean sheet for the 2002 riots, what many in the BJP termed as a hit job. The BBC facing anger by the Indian community for what many are calling irresponsible journalism and a deliberate attempt to target the government of India and its Prime Minister. So these are the first pictures coming in, and let's see if we get more voices from UK and in London, the Diaspora protesting against the BBC. There have been several groups that have been speaking out, claiming it was a motivated docuseries. Back in India, there have been several protests by even groups in India. And students, of course, have tried to forcefully screen the documentary, which was blocked and banned by the government on YouTube and Twitter as well. Many student groups in India have tried to air that documentary. That BBC docuseries has been a subject of political storm in India. And these pictures are now from London, where the Indian diaspora is protesting against the BBC. In fact, the BBC is notorious for its stand on many things India. Many wrong maps of India being displayed even as we speak on the BBC, and they've been facing questions on their India reportage, their reporting on the government. Many stories where they've been, where they have their stand has been exposed. Even during COVID, criticism came in for the BBC and their coverage of India's handling of COVID, which many people termed as a hit job. Let's cut across to those pictures for a few seconds.
They can't see.
So those were the pictures of the protests by the Indian diaspora against the BBC in London. And in India, of course, there is a huge split politically. Opposition parties led by the Congress party backing the documentary, and the DMK is planning to raise the issue in Parliament as well. The DMK, ahead of the budget session which resumes on Monday, the DMK said it would corner the government over the BBC documentary and the comments related to the judiciary, etc. And opposition trading its guns on the government. They're planning to do it tomorrow.